तो सर को मैंने रिक्वेस्ट भेजी है और सर हमारे साथ आ गए। नमस्ते, प्रणाम सर जी, वेलकम टू जस्ट बात वंस अगेन। We are very happy and delighted to have you here.
Now that Kanika आपने इतने सारे greetings बताए हैं, नमस्कार, सत श्री अकाल, वाहेगुरु जी दा खालसा and जय हिंद. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure to be here amidst you all, Kanika. And how are you all and how are you doing?
Good, sir. I hope I am safe here and everybody back home is also safe and healthy. And I hope you are also safe. I got to know you got the second dose of vaccination.
Yes, I did last week. And I don't know how comfortable one feels, but God bless us all, and may all of us who are today not in the best of health recover quickly and get back to life. And let's hope that tomorrow is a better day, Kanika.
Right, sir. Absolutely, sir. So while you have been, triggering motivation into all of us through our sessions, and you have been telling people not to let go of that hope, believe in yourself, though there is a lot of negativity around, but you have always guided us how to manage that negativity. And this is all our today's session is, sir, managing toxicity in life and how to handle situations that take a better hold of you, put you into negativity, and how can we overcome that. So sir, what is your statement on the topic? What do you think about negative situations in life?
Kanika, at the very outset, the topic that you talked about, or we are going to discuss or talk about today, is called toxicity, which comes from the very simple 5-letter word called toxic. Not the best of words, if you really ask me. Because when you talk of toxic, what does it connect you with? It connects you things about being abusive, being unsupportive, being unhealthy, emotionally distant. You feel less important. That is what the word toxic or toxicity actually talks about. Now, when you are talking of, an aspect like managing toxicity in life, all that I would like to tell all of us here is, haven't we all gone through phases like this particular word defines in great detail? We have. Nobody can say, "Main doodh ka dula hua hoon. I have been washed in milk, that I am a very cool guy." Most of us are good people. There's no doubt about it. When you are trying to be good, others are trying to be toxic.
Right.
So when you are toxic, others are trying to be good. So when two toxic get together and mix up, it's toxicity. How do you manage toxicity? Well, you got to just manage it. So what do you talk of when you say something like, what is a toxic person? He is that person who you feel manipulates you, or to him, he feels you are manipulating him too. That makes two toxic people. You're constantly confused by the behavior of somebody. You feel as if you deserve an apology once in a while and you don't get it. You always have to, defend yourself. You never feel comfortable. And this is the same thing we do with the other person as well. So it's a two-way traffic. But the question is, we are talking of relationships, Kanika. What is a toxic relationship?
Right.
Now, a toxic relationship is something all of us, from the time we are born till the time we go back to our maker, we will be sharing various aspects of relationships with our people, which all the time are not going to be hunky-dory. They're not going to be smooth sails. They're going to have its ups and downs. And that is where a relationship, whenever it is characterized, you know what I mean by that? It's characterized by the behaviors on your part, somebody else's part, where emotion, sometimes physical damage takes place. That's what toxicity is all about. It's not a negative, it's not a positive word, if you really ask me. We are facing toxicity every day, at work, at play. I told you last time when we talked about, work life and aspects of how to handle work today in these. And I always said that, we have been dwelling so much on negatives that our minds have started looking negatively at a lot of things. But I tell a lot of people, Kanika, I said, how long can you keep listening to the negatives and keep getting burdened and, bludgeoned by the negativity? I mean, what is on in the world today, or what is happening with you at work, or what is your relationship with your boss, or what is your relationship with your partner, is something that is always going to have its ups and downs. So how do you handle it? How do you manage it? That is something one has to look at it from the way it unfolds to you.
Right.
There is nothing in the world which can go smooth sailing. This is my initial thought. But when you look at the word, I don't like this word at all, toxic. It makes you intoxicated in a negative way.
Right.
A lot of people would love to get intoxicated after a great, a great result, a great job, a marriage. आज चलो दारू पीते हैं and होश गवाते हैं. और वो खुशी की intoxication है. But if you look at toxic, it's got some connect with the word getting intoxicated with negativity. So today, when we are going to talk of aspects like managing or working with toxicity in the workplace, or whatever you're looking at, let's have a look and see how we take things as they come.
Right.
So I hope you've been able to understand. A lot of people use these words, Kanika, without really knowing how grave the word is, how heavy the word is. इस्तेमाल करने के लिए, it's a very toxic situation, sir. Now, I said, explain करो. Oh, थोड़ी सी बस miss हो गई, sir. Very toxic situation. Bus miss होना is not a toxic situation.
Right.
A toxic situation is when you feel let down. A toxic situation is when you are the cause of somebody else feeling bad. This aspect becomes magnified from both ends.
Right, sir.
All yours.
Yes, sir. Very important things that you said here. That it is very important for everybody to understand what do you mean by toxicity and when is a situation actually qualifying to be toxic. And once you understand which situation you are exactly into, you need to find the answers for it and how to manage. So what we usually do is we take up the questions, and I am going to put forward some questions to you, and let's see if it is actually toxic or if there is a little support that we can give to our members. Okay, sir. So
and sorry, Kanika. Just before you shoot off with your questions, let me also tell you, I'm sure that the question that you're probably going to throw at me, which according to the people who have forwarded such questions or asked such questions, I don't think there would necessarily be toxicity in some of the questions asked. It is a state of mind which looks at things. So probably we will even clear that.
Right.
You see, जो आप समझते हो that this is a very toxic scenario, I think that's a wrong concept of the word that you're using. It's not as bad as you're making it out to be.
Right.
I thought, let me also tell you that. Yeah, wait.
Definitely, sir. We're going to filter out the exact meaning in the exact situation.
Yeah.
And who can be a better person than you, sir. So I am shooting forward my first question. So the member says that I'm a married man and my wife is more successful than I am. She makes the major decisions related to the monthly budget planning, and when we fight, I am reminded of who's bringing more money to the family. Moreover, in our social circle, I'm subject to taunts and judgments. Though I am proud of my wife, but why does it make me look like a loser?
Kanika, this question takes me back many decades ago. I think I was in college then when we saw a film starring the then about to become superstar Amitabh Bachchan, and he was acting with I think he had already married her, Jaya Baduri Bachchan then, and the film was Abhiman. Rishida's movie Abhiman. Why do I say that? The question that you have asked me is exactly bordering on what Amitabh felt when he was a superstar and then his wife, overtook him. And then the problems began. Of course, in the film, the typical male ego played a very, very dangerous role in Amitabh Bachchan's life. Being a man, he thought that he was the be-all and end-all. What is happening here? Here the gentleman says, I am a married man. I am sure he would have loved to add the word happily, prefixing to the word married. Happily married man. And my wife is more successful than I am. Oh my goodness me, today in my present scenario, sitting at home and just talking to people, my wife was always more successful than I was in any case, whether it was the question of money, whether it was the question of being hip hop and happening. And did I feel bad about it? Oh my goodness me, I was thrilled. So what I'm basically trying to say, you feel that the wife is more successful than you are, and I know where the question is coming out with. It's about the amount of money the lady earns. So the man earns X rupees and the lady earns 5X rupees. So there are a lot of major decisions which possibly involve a little more of money. So the lady says, "Thoda mere paas bhi paisa hai, Parvardigar mere, and you have also got a little bit of money, my dear husband. Let's do this, let's do that." So what the gentleman also feels is, and certain places, there is a clash of thoughts where he feels, and possibly and rightly so, that the wife is dominating him only because she brings more money to the family. Now, agar ghar ki baat hai, it's okay, nothing to be bad about it. For God's sake, sir, happily married man, if your wife is earning more than you, you're also earning a little packet for yourself. How does it matter? How does it matter? Please, there are two people bringing in money to the house and not just one. Suppose it was only you bringing in money and the wife was only the typical old homemaker who was always banking on the husband to dish out a little money to her. Today she is bringing the money. You have a good, healthy lifestyle. So what if she earns more than you? Now, ghar mein ye baat khatam honi chahiye. The man must tell the lady, "I am so proud of you." Where is the ego involved in this? Where is the problem? But the problem I see going a little beyond. Now the problem is, he says, in the social circle, he is subject to taunts and judgment. I mean, ये दुनिया है कनिका. कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे. लोगों का काम है कहना. Why are you worried about social taunts? And I can understand how the social environment is, where people like to maro a pinprick here and there and say, "Oh, so how is she doing? Is she promoted? Has she become a MD? Yo, to abhi manager hi raha." These are taunts. Now here, I can well understand the person. I am not blaming the lady at all here. The lady is not involved in it. The lady has a superior position by designation in society or in the job. The whole world knows it. Nothing is hidden, right? He should talk to the lady and say, "I hope you and I are okay with things." And she'll say, "Of course we are okay with things. I don't go by what the social taunts are all about." And tomorrow, God forbid, there's another social taunt, the lady must come up and take up cudgels. "I am so proud that I've got somebody who supports me too. In fact, I have told my husband, relax, take a break, go on a holiday at home. I am there na, main hu na, I will look after the house." Why can't you change the equation? You are breaking a solid rock into small pieces. Why do you want to do it? And then on top of it, this good man says, "I am proud of my wife, but I feel I look like a loser." There's a dichotomy in what you're saying. If you feel like you're a loser, then you're not proud of your wife. Number one. Let me be very clear about this, Kanika. एक तरफ से आप बोलते हो, बड़ा फकर है सर. She is my wife. I'm so proud of her. And then you go back to your washroom quietly in the night and you cry.
Right.
And say, "मैं तो हारा हुआ आदमी." What are you talking about? Oh, for God's sake, consider yourself, this couple, blessed. The husband and the wife both earn. The wife earns a little more than the husband. So what? Why are we looking at it from that MCP society? The male chauvinistic pig which always existed, that I am the dominant man. That is why if the lady earns more than me, मैं तो कहीं का नहीं रहा. It's a wrong state, Vedu. You are the cause of your problems. I bet the lady, I'm sure, she is not going to belittle the husband outside in social skills. And if there is a little tutu mama in the house for a little discussion about something, don't I have a little tutu mama with the wife every time? She earns, I earn a little more. She earns more than me at times. It's equal. But I don't say, "Yes, you want this thing, you go and buy it. I want this thing, I go and buy it." We buy it for the sake of the house.
Right.
No, we don't say, "Okay, if sometimes," even let me give a personal example. Sometimes the wife does that, "I think we must get this." I said, "Let's wait a little longer. It's on the expensive side. Let's wait a little while. Jalbazi nahi hai." And we come to a via media and everything is resolved. It's about resolution at home, Kanika. Ye bahar ki baat, don't even bother about it. If people taunt you in your social circles outside, well, people have nothing better to do. And if you're now going to now be governed by what log kehte hain, then log to kehte rahenge bhi. Then there's no end to it. My advice is, number one, be proud of your wife, which you are. Number two, be the winner that you are, because you have a lovely lady who's your wife for life and who's doing extremely well at home. If there's a little bit of budget planning, a little bit of adjustment always helps. There is nothing to feel that, okay, now she's pushing her way because she brings in more money. Dimag se baat nikalo. Don't even say this to the wife if it comes across, because she's also got an ego. You need to understand that. It's the two-way traffic, Kanika. I hope the gentleman concerned will feel happy that this is something he should feel proud of, rather than, put his head into the sand and wonder what is happening.
Right. And I would just like to add to the wonderful answer that you have given, sir, that it's my personal belief also that, it is important to understand that you cannot be a winner at all spheres of life. We all are running different races, and you cannot win at all the ends. You win one, you lose one, right? And why to compare
Absolutely.
it? Why to compare it? And ultimately, something that you said that, it's ultimately the family, it is the house that you are bringing in things into. So stop comparing and unite as a team.
And to this, Kanika, you use the word which I always use, compare. Never ever compare. You see, the moment this gentleman has compared himself to his wife vis-a-vis money, he has always pulled himself down. Kahan meri biwi, kahan main? Why are you comparing? Arey Baba, 1 and 1 is not 2. Ek aur ek make 11. Please understand this. Thodi dimag ki batti jalaiye. Look at life from a positive. You are a blessed man.
Right.
I hope you are in agreement with that point, Kanika.
Absolutely, sir. No doubt about it.
Thank you.
So I hope our user would have found some insights here and a different perspective that came from you, so that team up and don't compare. So sir, quickly moving on to the second question. It is, I work in an educational institute. Though everyone pretends to be your friend, they only want to extract your exact plans to grow and then use your plans for their benefit. I believed that the place you work is also your family, and when your family is backstabbing you, how is one supposed to be happy?
Kanika, this is Meri Sthiti, but without the negatives that you're mentioning. Honestly, backstabbing? Oh my goodness me. My first question to the person who has asked this question, he or she, whoever it may be. You are working in an educational institute. किस लिए काम कर रहे हो आप educational institute में? Why are you in an educational institute? Is it to earn money every month? Is it to take tuitions and squeeze people every day after they come back from school and earn additional dosh? Or are you in an educational institute to impart knowledge which you believe you have and you can share? The problem is this gentleman, lady, whoever it is, feels that I am giving gyan to my students. Let's be very clear about a few things, Kanika. I have been in the business of sharing my little limited expertise with a lot of people. I go down to colleges, I speak in institutions, I address people right, left and center. I share a little of my very limited gyan. I'm not trying to be humble, very limited gyan. Why do I say that? Because probably I walk the earth a little more than some of them, but I don't get into areas where I am a novice. There I am ready to learn from a 4-year-old, from a 2-year-old. I'm not saying that ye kya sikhayega, but my point is, you are here to share knowledge with your student. What is the student sitting there for? Suppose it's an MBA program or an engineering program or a law program. Why is the student sitting in front of you? He wants to get gyan from you. When he gets this gyan from you, he is going to use this gyan tomorrow in the workplace. So this is your gyan imparted to him, which he is going to use. How do you feel bad about it? Now, there will be certain students who come and attend a seminar or a session for the sake of being there. Majbooran they are there. Attendance ke liye I am sitting in a class. Let me tell you, Kanika, 9 out of 10 students, honest to God, mean business. I might exaggerate the 9 out of 10 in today's scenario, because I also know a lot of people who come in, sir, attendance mil gaya and bhag jao class se. We're not worried about the few. We're not worried about the few. We are looking at the larger element. And how do you feel that somebody is backstabbing you? I have shared my little knowledge with a lot of people. And you know what they tell me, Kanika? Sir, today I was addressing a seminar in my institute and I used your theory, I used your concept, I used your examples, I used your little gyan. Should I feel bad about it or should I feel good about it?
Right.
I mean, I don't understand. I consider my workplace teaching my family. It is my family. It is my parivar. That's why I say all my bacha party, they may be 60-year-olds, but if they are my students sitting opposite, they are my bacha party. I'm being honest with them. I treat them like my kids. My aim is you got to be better than me. Colonel Sunil Brijkrishnan is the best in the world. Of course he is. I know I am. But that is not for my personal self-ego. That is to boost you. Everybody will pretend to be your friend in class. Let him pretend to be your friend in class. He's going to use your gyan for his benefit tomorrow. No, why are you feeling bad? There is no backstabbing in this, Kanika. Take out this word. Peeth mein chura ghopna. It's not a fair thing to say. How is it going to be a backstabber? One odd chap does it. I told you, you cannot change the world. There are a few bad eggs everywhere. You're not here for the sake of only that monthly salary or to harass one person who's a bad egg. You're here for the general mass of people who wait for you to begin a class. I'm giving you my personal opinion, ladies. I'm being honest. And I'll vouch for all faculties across the world. The majority of them are doing it because they believe it's a passion. There are a few who are doing it because they believe it's a means to only a livelihood. That is it. It is a means to your livelihood, Kanika. But make it your passion. When you make your profession your passion, you enjoy it. Then no backstabbing is going to matter. And even if there are people who do backstab you, so be it. You're beyond them. You've crossed the realm. Let's move on. I hope
Right,
I've said
sir.
it in absolutely clear words.
Absolutely, sir. And I picked up the highlight of that answer. That was like, choose the words that you are feeding your mind, right? As you pointed out, that this word backstabbing is getting like too much, and we are telling ourselves that, oh, that colleague of mine has backstabbed me or something like that. So choose your words wisely. That is what I feel sir is trying to tell here, and please don't exaggerate the moments of heat.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely. You said you win some, you lose some.
Right.
You said it.
Yes.
So look at the winning from a larger context.
Right.
You are bound to lose somewhere or the other. You get a feedback, 400 people give you a 10 out of a 10 and 2 people give you a 1. At times it makes people like me also wonder, 400 people have given me a 9 out of 10 and one guy has given me a 1 out of 10. And should I lose sleep about it? It's happened with me also many a time. I've had my own kids saying, why are you getting worried? 399 people believe you're 10. That one guy is an outlier. Right. He's an aberration. He's an exception. So don't worry about exceptions. We'll bother about the rule. Yes, Penny.
Right. Yes, sir. So I will quickly move forward to my third question, sir. So she says, life changes as we grow in age. I'm guilty of being a part to gossip and cribbing back in college. But I have surpassed this nature of mine now. Unfortunately, I have a best friend from college who is still the same. And no matter how hard I try, she isn't willing to cut down on talking negative about everything in life. I find it very draining. I don't want to leave her alone, but I don't know how to let her know it's getting toxic for me to manage those conversations.
The question asked by whosoever, I think the person deserves a Nobel Prize. 2 reasons. 1, she called the friend or he called the friend best friend. Alright? Now my concept of best friend is slightly different from what is envisaged as a best friend. Alright? Best friend is somebody whose shoulder is always there for you. Best friend is somebody who is there for you. Best friend is somebody who accepts your brickbats. Best friend is somebody who gives you the bouquets. Best friend is somebody who learns from you and you learn from him or her. Now, Kanika, cribbing is our national pastime. We cannot live life without cribbing,
right,
without gossiping. Let's be very honest. We have nothing better in life to do when we are not at work or play. अच्छा और बता उसने क्या बोला? अच्छा, oh my God, did you see what she was wearing or what he was dressing or what he was talking? And the बात शुरू हो जाती है. That's why I say there's something in management called the grapevine. बात का पतंगड़ बन जाता है.
Right.
You know how the grapevine is. It's a small little vine, curled up like this. You hold 2 ends and extend it, it becomes this big. You lose one end and it becomes so small. That is how communication traverses. Gossip यही होता है ना, बात का पतंगड़. An owl becomes a pussycat. Why are you so concerned about somebody who is constantly making life miserable for you? If you feel that this best friend is there and you cannot leave him or her alone as you mentioned,
Right.
then what are you looking at? Then keep getting toxified. Then keep cribbing. I mean, are you going to govern your thought processes? Are you going to look at your life? Are you going to look at your health based on one person who is your supposed best friend, right, from college days? You were also the same boat as she was in. You have changed over time. She has not. Everybody is not the same, Kanika. But your job would be to try and tell this best friend of yours once, twice, which I can assure you, this lovely girl has probably tried. It hasn't worked. That is why there is this question being posed. मैं उसको अकेला नहीं छोड़ना चाहती हूँ. Please, I don't want to leave her. But I also don't know how to tell her कि ये मेरे लिए is becoming health problems. It's becoming a mental psyche for me. I mean, let's face it. Either you draw a line somewhere, Kanika. Both these girls are wonderful people. One likes to just spin a yarn. One likes to crib. One likes to curse. One likes to condemn. Why should somebody's conveniences become your inconvenience? Don't let somebody's convenience become your inconvenience. Remember this, Kanika. You are not happy with the way things are going for you because somebody refuses to change. Then take a big call and tell the person straight, directly, one-on-one, politely, look, I have been trying my best. Now I realize that my life is becoming miserable. I'm finding it myself, stifled with work, suffocated. Either you stop all this, or I guess we'll have to separate out for a while, not be so interconnected as we are. And if things get better, fair enough. You tell me, Kanika. Remember my famous saying, you can take a horse to the water.
Yes, but you cannot make the horse drink water.
You cannot guarantee the horse will drink water. He may drink water, beta. That's what I said. You can make a trial. Trials mein koi harja nahi, but if the trial is not working, there's a point of time. Couples who have married out of love once upon a time find themselves at the counselor's office because they are making no headway. They try, but then they realize, look, for your benefit and for my benefit, let us both live correctly, live sensibly, but live differently. They still remain friends. They may not be wedded, as the case may be. That's what I want you to tell this person concerned. You don't want to leave her alone? Good. Theka to nahi le rakha hai. See, let's be honest about it. It's affecting you.
Right.
When things affect you to the point of the toxicity part of it, then I think the water has crossed the nose.
Right.
Straight talk, chat, and say, let's do it this way, or else let's take a break till you get over your habitual habits of being a constant cribber and a constant gossiper. I have moved beyond that. Kanika.
So what happens if you are on the receiving end? For example, while we were answering this question, what if I am the person who is being told that you gossip a lot, you crib a lot, and this is getting heavy on my head, and you need to stop. So I will definitely feel bad about it. But then how am I supposed to handle it?
Very good question, Kanika. You are now the other end. And somebody comes and tells you, supposedly your best friend comes and tells you, listen, Kanika, I think enough is enough. Tum kya kar rahi hai? You're making a mess out of things. You're making a nuisance of yourself. Will Kanika feel bad? Of course she'll feel bad. But to be very honest, Kanika, we are not in school now, na? As the case may be. People have grown up. They've grown big. I would suggest, if I was Kanika, I would go back to the confines of my room and said, what did Miss X say? Why did she say it? Is there truth in what she said? You got to introspect.
Right.
Kanika, most of us, when we have a bad day in office or had a bad day at work, even a person like me, I consider myself absolutely cool and calm. I don't fire anybody. I don't shout. But maybe a time I've said something to somebody which might have hurt him. I've come back home to my bed and said, why did I do it? Why did I say this to him? And you won't believe it. And next morning I go back and tell that youngster, embarrass him by saying, I'm sorry if you felt hurt. Now that requires a lot of conviction to do it. Come back and introspect. If somebody comes and tells me, you're one hell of a guy, everybody's making a noise about you, I'll come back and say, sab log agar keh rahe hain, and my best friend is also saying this to me, there's no smoke without fire, Kanika. I need to introspect, and probably I'll get an answer.
Right. Right.
Probably I will.
So the medicine for your pain is that please introspect if you are on the receiving end, and if you have to
Yes.
be open and honest, trust yourself, and you are going to do some good to the other person, that he will come out of that
Absolutely.
habit of craving. So we had
Absolutely. Absolutely.
we had an audience question. Somebody was asking how to identify if I am being toxic to others.
Just look at body language of people. Just look at body language of people, Kanika. The body language is the most powerful tool in communication. It is what the body behaves even when without the mouth getting into gear. You will yourself see people's faces change. You'll see people's colors change. You'll see people look at each other and you realize that I think I overstepped. It's very easy, Kanika. It's very easy. It's very easy to be caustic. You can see if you are trying to be sarcastic, it shows on people. They may not retort out of politeness, but the body speaks a million words even when the mouth is shut. I will tell people, you should realize कि लोगों का your व्यवहार देखकर, seeing the body language of people, I think I overstepped. And if I was in that state, I would tell somebody, I am so sorry, I think I made a wrong statement.
Right.
What is wrong in saying so? ये जो 3-letter word ego है ना, ये हमें मार दिया. I'm sorry guys, if I felt bad, if I overstepped, or if I said something which might have been right as far as I'm concerned, but probably hurt somebody's feelings, I can understand. It's something you have to understand yourself. I hope whoever asked this question, how do you know you are caustic? Just watch how people react. Today's world, people are not so polite, Kanika. People will retort, blast you straight away. Why wait for that to happen?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for answering that question, sir.
Yeah.
So I will go back to the question from our users, and this gentleman says that I am not doing well from quite a few months. I even had suicidal thoughts. This is because I don't flatter my boss.
What thoughts does he have? What thoughts?
Suicidal thoughts.
Suicidal thoughts. Oh, right. Okay.
And this is because I don't flatter my boss. I am being cornered in the office. I do my work sincerely and leave. There was a time 6 months back when I was praised by the CEO in front of the entire team for having a lot of potential in me. That did not go well with some people, and they started bitching about me to the boss, as they have always been bootlickers. The boss listens to them, and his behavior towards me has changed. Now he thinks that I am the most worthless employee, and I was not given any work for 3 months. I was just sitting idle. I don't know how to overcome this problem. I have self-respect, and I can't be like this. Can't take this negativity. Please suggest.
A word he used, Kanika, self-respect. All right, I'm going to base my entire answer on this word. Look at the case in point. Very common scenario at any workplace. You're a good man. You've done well. The CEO, who's even senior to your boss, he has praised you publicly. That's what this person says.
Right.
When he has praised you publicly, you felt like the king. But you had your colleagues who wanted to dig a hole and shove you into it because nobody likes to hear the good things about the other person. Ye duniya ka taqaza hai. This is the way of the world. What has happened now? These collective lot of people, I'm not doubting their intelligence or their way of work. They may be damn good, but probably they have not liked you being praised publicly by a very senior man. So they say the best way to put him down, let's spin a few yarns about this guy to the immediate boss, who's their boss as well.
Right.
Now ये जो boss है ना, हिंदुस्तानी में there is a कहावत, कान का कच्चा. कान का कच्चा होना is somebody who is a very gullible chap, who believes anything and everything said to him by people who want him to change his thought process. The boss has a problem. You have said, I am now looking at suicide. Oh, for God's sake, if you use the word self-respect, then suicide doesn't come anywhere near it. Let's be honest about it. A lot of people will counter and said, sir, a person lost his self-respect, so he jumped into a river. No. A man jumps into a river or takes his life when there is that fraction of aberration of the mind. When a man tries to do something so horrendous as this word that this man used, it means that mind is on the edge. It's on an edge. And one moment this way or that way. What are we talking about? How can you think of things like this? You consider yourself nothing because people have ganged up and you use self-respect. What has prevented this gentleman from walking up to the boss one day, knocking on the door and said, sir, I have to have a word with you. I told you this in one of the earlier programs. Communicate, mate. You are sitting in a corner, you're looking at negativity, nobody is giving you a job, you've been out of the realm of the whole thing, scheme of things, and you want to go and hang yourself. What are we talking about, Kanika? This is not the youth of India that I'm looking at. Haven't I faced this problem? Haven't you?
Right.
I have been told once I was the most useless guy that ever existed. I was told this, and I was a senior guy. I was told this by a very senior person. Was I depressed? Of course I was. Did I want to jump off onto the railway tracks? No. Did I have self-respect? Tremendous amount. What did I do? I swallowed all my whatever ego I had. I walked up to the boss. I said, sir, I need to have a drink with you. He said, you have the audacity to say that? All right. I had a chat with him one-on-one. And I said, you need to tell me where have I faltered. I was praised by the CEO not very long ago. Today, a few people who I know are my problem creators, they have filled your ears with whatever stuff. You feel I'm bad, tell me straight. You don't want to give me a good appraisal, don't give me a good appraisal. But this feeling of making me feel absolutely out, away from the rest of the people, it's doing me a lot of harm in my output, my productivity. I request you, sir, please give it a cool thought. You need guts to do this. Right. You do this, there's no suicidal tendency. Kanika, take out that word from your mind. I don't like it. I well understand whoever has done a horrible thing like that, what must have been his state of mind. My answer to that is, there would have been no mind. That is why he did what he did, because the mind will not allow you to do it. And you say you have self-respect. You can't take this negativity. I think go and pour out this to your boss and come out with positivity. Tell him to try it. Please tell him to try it. And this is not a case which I've heard for the first time. I've had so many youngsters, executive managers in the corporate world who come and talk to me. I said, Dam hai? Are you that proud son of your dad and mom? Izzat hai? Haan sir hai. I said, aise nahi hoti hai. Haan sir hai. Dam ke saath bolo. You have it? Yes sir. I said, walk up to the boss tomorrow at a convenient time which suits him. He might tell you, get out of my sight. Right. Tell him, sir, I will get out of your sight, but I need to have a word with you, sir. Please listen to me. He will listen to you, Kanika.
Right.
Please try it. You have to be a trier everywhere and don't take it lying down. Now what has happened? This guy has been into a shell. Everybody is having a blast. They must be having a giggle behind them and said, देखा, हंस गया. CEO ने बहुत praise किया था. ये असलियत है. So don't let this happen, baby. I always tell people, you know me well as a person, I motivate people. Come on, damn it, dam hai to. Go and talk to somebody. Tell him this. I bet if he does it, it will work, Kanika.
And what about the consequences, sir? Sometimes we are obstructed by the consequences. I want to talk it out, but I'm scared if that backfires, and if I am on the, if I am at the risk of losing my job.
Now, let me interject here with you. Everybody says, I'm at the verge of losing my job. So what are you on the verge of losing? What have you done? Have you murdered somebody? Have you stolen the equipment from your office? Have you caused $1 million loss to your company's output or productivity or finance or whatever? Nothing like this. I mean, why are people under the impression that if I walk up and talk to my boss politely, mind you, whatever I say, you might take out all the venom inside you. But that venom inside you must become amrit. It must become nectar when it comes out. Kill a man with kindness. Follow my K with K policy. Kill with kindness. आदमी को प्यार से मार दो. He must enjoy dying. मजा आ रहा है मरते मरते क्योंकि आप इतने प्यार से बोल रहे हो. what are we talking about? You're talking about the counterpart of it, Kanika. It's not that easy to just tell somebody, okay, you had the guts to come into my office and talk to me, take your termination letter and get out. Nahi hota hai. I guarantee you it's not going to happen like this. Let me be honest about it. Because you have not committed a murder, you have not committed a crime. What is the worst case scenario? That boss doesn't give a damn. He says, okay, I've heard you, you carry on. Carry on, continue with your work. Continue with your work as diligently, as honestly, and as capably as you have been. Let people say what they will. Times will change. वो कर्मा की बात होती है. I'm not philosophical, I'm not mythological. But what goes around comes around. Remember this. It will work, Kanika.
Right.
That is to answer the retorted question you gave me. What if the repercussions or ramifications are different?
Right.
Just move on.
Right, sir. And this reminds me of something that I used to say very fondly to my college friends, that God plays in turns. If today it is me, tomorrow it is you. So we should always be very cautious.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Somebody's turn will also come. Remember this.
Right.
My TTSP is legendary. This too shall pass. ये दौर भी गुजर जाएगा. Wait a bit. Don't be in a hurry.
Right. Wonderful,
yes,
sir.
Please.
So I am coming forward with the last question of the session that I have on my list. However, our users are free to ask any question, the audience that is in the live session. So I am asking you the last one on my list. Most of the time, it has been seen that toxicity in a relationship is realized after many months or many years. Out of love, there must be many times when we ignore the signs and just let go to find the problem getting deeper. The toxic person may not be doing it intentionally, and himself going through the underlying mental issue. So what, according to you, are some early signs of a person who can be potentially toxic in a relationship?
Good, sensible question. See, all relationships at the very start are all honey and nectar. Boyfriend, girlfriend, mama, papa, mom and you, dad and sibling, बहुत मजादार होता है. Lovely things happen. You grow up. थोड़ा रब भी होता है, थोड़ा गुस्सा होता है. There's a little annoyance, there's a little difference of opinion. You dated somebody for a long time and you thought, Char Chand and whatever you had to say about Sher Shairi was there. Over a period of time, everything starts coming down to the grassroots level. Relationships change. Atmospheres change. They do not always remain as wonderful and smooth. I'm not saying that the relationships have ended. No. But you are not in any state of mind 20 years ago and 20 years later. There's a difference. The love may be there, but that romantic love of 20 years ago is not going to be there 20 years later. It's more of togetherness now. The romance was always there. The moment you entered the house and opened the windows, romance went out of the windows. And then you realize, ye zindagi hai. Now, everywhere this happens. So this particular toxic person may not doing it, intentionally, but sometimes behaviors, they upset you. Sometimes certain statements, they upset you. How do you realize who this toxic person, or what are the signs that this toxic person can have? Number one, you want to say something, you want some help, you find there's a lack of support. पहले ऐसा नहीं था. पहले when somebody says मैं चाय बना रहा हूँ, तुम्हारे लिए भी बनाऊंगा. Today you are desperate for a cup of tea and you tell him बनाएगा. He said उठ के जा, टांगे नहीं है तुम्हारी. I'm just telling you, शुरुआत कैसे होते हैं. Lack of support. Toxic communication. The way you speak, what you speak, how you speak, when you speak. Earlier it was Shakespeare. It was William Wordsworth. Love, if thou and I with fate could conspire to alter the scheme of things entire, would not we shatter it to bits and then remold it to our heart's desire? वाह. और जरा सी आहट होती है तो दिल सोचता है कहीं ये वो तो नहीं. आज दरवाजे पर खटखट होती है. The answer is उफ आ गया. I am being honest with you. This is toxic communication. You can see the changes in relationships taking place. Another thing, There's a jealousy factor. Whatever you say and do, the other person looks at it a little negatively. It wasn't the case earlier. There is something called resentment. You have done something to the best of your ability and you are expecting a smile, and there is, ye kaun si badi baat hai? Resentment. Then you find there is a lack of trust, a little dishonesty. You said, मैंने कुछ और बोला, उसका बात कुछ और निकल गई, and then you said it or no. The person says, no, I never said it. When did you say it? Etc. etc. I'm giving you example signs of seeing where relationships can go bad, where there is a requirement of damage control. There's a require of intervention. These are patterns of disrespect, Kanika. And then the worst thing happens is the negative financial behavioral aspects. Worst thing, any relationship, end of the day, initially, jo jeet mein aaye, buy it, take it, use it. And in the end of the day, when it comes to haath phaila ke, please, I need money for the doodh, I need money for the dahi, I need money for... Abhi nahi, abhi time nahi hai, kitna paisa, how much, how often. These are indications that you need to recognize some of these signs in yourself, your partner, or the relationship. It's not, मैं किसी और की तरफ को बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, Kanika. I'm not speaking on behalf of somebody, I'm talking for myself. Sometimes I realize, I think I crossed the line. I think I was a little rude. Are you there? Yeah.
Yes, sir, I'm here. Just some technical issue on my end, sir.
Not to worry. Can I keep speaking or shall I wait?
Yes, sir.
No, not to worry. Okay, so I'm basically trying to say, Kanika, doesn't matter. These technical issues will happen. I don't want our relationship to become toxic because of that. Mazak mein. So what I'm basically trying to say, Kanika, is you, your partner, and the relationship, you have to recognize these signs. These are signs which are absolute positives towards a good relationship going wrong. So what is the antidote? What do you do to this? Pull yourself back a little. You may not be the same level that you were 50 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, but then avoid the toxic communication. Be a little polite. Appreciate something. Kya jata hai? You see, the human being is such a peculiar being, I think. And there are people I know who, 5 hours ago were, ready to have a third world confrontation with you. 5 hours ago. And 5 hours later, they are serving you the best of food and the best of things that are so lovey-dovey. And you suddenly tell yourself, the person concerned is so nice, has forgotten about what happened 5 hours ago. But I am still hankering on to that aspect which happened 5 hours ago. It's mine. It's something you got to give credit to the other person for, Kanika.
Right.
Some of us take our troubles so seriously and they take them home, they take them to their pillows and they take them next day and they still want to take it out. There is a limit of tolerance also from the other side. This could be vice versa as well, from your side too. So learn to be a little more accommodative. You got to be a little more accommodative. These are telltale signs. When you say hi to somebody on the road outside. Hi, how are you doing? He says, You suddenly realize, Arey, hi nahi bola, bol diya. What do? You said, ye to darar pad rahi hai. Walk up and said, yeah, all well? He said, I'm sorry, yaar, main thoda takleef mein tha. I just said, I'm sorry. You get back to square one. Don't let these things ruin relationships. Toxicity in life is going to be a continuum. I don't say continuous, I don't say continual, I say continuum. Continuum means never ending. A continuous road will also end at some dead end. A continual program will also finally season 6, episode 30 has finally ended. But a continuum is something which will go on and on and on. There was that famous movie I remember. कौन सी थी वो? माधुरी दीक्षित and Salman Khan. Very दीदी तेरा देवर दीवाना. What was that film? I forget the name. हम आपके हैं कौन? It ran for some 100 weeks or 100 years continuously. That was a continuum film. Or more than that, that Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge, DDLJ. It just went on and on and on. I'm just giving an example of a continuum. Films come 1 week, films come 4 months, films come 6 months, there's a change. This went on and on and on. Toxicity is a continuum. Kanika, it's there. It's up to you to decide how less toxic can you make an environment.
Right. Absolutely, sir. So I'm asking you one question, sir. This is from my end. I feel that the end to any toxicity or to any problem in life is communication. That is why
Yeah.
that whenever we are hurt by somebody we love, the immediate reaction is, I will not talk to you. I will not talk to this person for days, weeks, but ultimately we talk, right? Or sometimes we don't talk, we choose not to talk. Same with our
Absolutely.
relationships, our career, everywhere we just try to make walls when we want to have bridges. So, do you think that the end to toxicity, you said that it is never, it is an end, forever continuum,
It's a
but
continuum. It's a continuum. Yeah.
but can communicating or talking it out or speaking about it actually end it?
Kanika, you have asked me a rocket science question, sweetheart. Can it end? Only communication will help, na? Your physics is not going to help. Your chemistry and biology and your geography and the pampas and the prairies and the grasslands and Himalayas, what you did in school, that is not going to help.
Right.
What is going to help, Kanika? Communication. The biggest key point to success in today's world is communication. And you said we will talk it out. That is only one aspect of communication. Remember, I once told you I'll do a session for you on what communication is all about. There are so many aspects which are involved. Yes, your body language must be a little more nice, conducive. It must be more open, more appealing. That's also communication. The way you look at somebody and greet him or think, that is communication. The way you sit and look at people and nod in appreciation, that is communication. It's all communication. Your passport to success in today's and every scenario from here to eternity. One word. However brilliant you may be, it's communication. How you connect to people is your success factor. Remember, we had fabulous professors in college and school and things like that, highly qualified, full of degrees and patents and this and that, and nobody attended some class. Why? So a very boring fellow.
Boring.
Very boring class. The subject is not boring. It is the way the person put it across. His communication was not appealing. Physics, chemistry, maths, biology, economics are not boring subjects. They are highly interesting, but it depends on who is the person behind the podium who's putting it across to people to make a difficult subject look like the easiest one on earth. It's all about communication, Kanika. Bang on, 100%.
Right. So that is why Just Baat is here, that please communicate, talk, speak it out, because the door that is going to unlock, the key that is going to unlock all the doors is ultimately communication. So Just Baat is here for you to talk about anything and everything that is bothering you and is putting you in a situation that is affecting you emotionally and mentally, so you don't have to handle it alone anymore. So sir, what are your concluding remarks for the session?
Delete the word from your dictionary. Replace it with positivity. Replace it with positivity. Whenever you see something negative, ignore. Don't get into it. Don't add fuel to the fire. Water knows how to find its own levels. You throw water, it runs all across the floor and finally stops because water knows how to find its own levels. Let it be. Purani kahavat hai, let sleeping dogs lie. Don't get into a samasya which maja aayega thoda sa, let's have some fun at somebody's expense.
Right.
We are only ruining our own peace of mind. We are shattering relationships which take years to build, seconds to be destroyed. Why? We are here for just one life. And the way things are today is all the more a reason for us to be more positive, to be more loving, to be more helpful, to be more social, to be more giving. Forget about the getting. Getting will happen when things work out properly. Look at the world today. It's worse than the World War II scenario today. If you really ask me, now is the time for us to realize the ahmiyat of living positively, being nice, being social, not saying no so easily, and trying to be accommodative. Kanika.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much once again for coming to this live session and helping us understand how to keep a balance in life, remove the negativity and replace it with positivity, and delete the so-called word toxicity from life. And
Absolutely.
and once again, I would like to remind our audience that Just Bath is this platform that is made for you to talk it out. We are here to listen. If there is anything that is bothering you, the times are tough, we are into isolation, we are battling a lot of emotional issues. So please talk it out. Maybe you find some consoling voices, a support that is much needed. You can support others, you can find support. We are just trying to bridge that gap. So sir, once again, thank you so much for being such an inspiration, such a wonderful session we had, and we'll keep on inviting you for more sessions. And I wish you well.
Always.
I wish my audience well. Have a good night, take rest. Jai Hind.